Guys, I watched it. I watched it. I just came home. I legit just came home from watching The Odyssey. Holy shit. So, The Odyssey is written and directed by Christopher Nolan and is the film adaptation of Homer's epic of the same name. And it tells the story of Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, as he faces a dangerous voyage back to his home after the Trojan War, facing creatures and goddesses along the way. Now, if you didn't watch my most anticipated of 2026 video, please do. I mentioned in that video that The Odyssey is my most anticipated film of the year. Because I love Christopher Nolan. He's one of my favorite directors, if not my favorite director. And I truly believe he's one of the best, if not the best filmmaker of our time. I truly believe that, and I will continue to defend that statement no matter how many people call him overrated, no matter how many people call me a basic bitch for it. I don't care. I'll continue to defend my opinion. I don't give a shit. Christopher Nolan is someone who constantly pushes the boundaries of what a blockbuster could be. And that's one of my favorite things about him. And The Odyssey is no different. This film is monumental. I watched this in IMAX, and just from the fact that this entire film is shot with IMAX, like its entirety is shot with IMAX cameras, it's not just a gimmick, it's not just a marketing ploy. It complements the movie so well because you immediately, from the very first frame, you immediately feel the scope and grandness of the whole film. Like the aspect ratio just never changing. Like the whole film just takes up the entire screen, the entire IMAX screen. That, coupled with the sound design, it just fully immerses you into the movie. From the loud bursts of lightning to the raging waters of the ocean, you absolutely feel it. You absolutely feel like you're in this movie, and I fucking love that. The cinematography is just gorgeous. You can't talk about this movie without talking about the cinematography. Like I said, shot entirely in IMAX 70 millimeter, which is sad because we don't have an IMAX 70 millimeter here in the Philippines. We used to, but it's gone now, which is sad. But yeah, you know what? Just watching it in IMAX alone was already gorgeous. This movie was just gorgeous. Nolan once again collaborating with Hoyte van Hoytema, and them once again giving us a feast for the eyes. A lot of Nolan's signature blue, a lot of warmth. Throughout the entire 3 hours, I was just genuinely admiring how amazing everything looked. Like a random shot from this movie may very well be one of the best shots of the year. Just every frame, just you can feel the artistry, the production and costume design. The set pieces, absolutely top tier. This movie spares no detail. The set pieces are phenomenal. They look lived in. They felt real. You know how I've said this in my reviews before, and I feel like this is said a lot nowadays with modern day blockbusters. Is you have these movies made for $200 million, maybe more. The Odyssey was made for $250 million, by the way. You have these blockbusters nowadays that are made for a lot of money, and a lot of our complaints, a lot of statements going around is, where the hell did the money go? This was made for this much money. Like, where'd the money go? What the fuck? With the Odyssey, all I can think of is, how the fuck was this movie not made? How did this movie not cost more? Like $250 million just for this? How did it not cost more? It's insane. It's insane. Like I said, just about every frame in this movie screams artistry. It screams dedication, and I love that. The sequence with Polyphemus. Nolan said, by the way, that they actually built a 60-foot puppet for the Cyclops. And that's one of the things I love about Nolan. You can't deny this. I love his dedication for doing things in camera, for prioritizing practical effects over CGI, doing things practically instead of immediately resorting to VFX. I love that. The fact that Cyclops wasn't entirely CGI is insane. That's movie magic, ladies and gentlemen. That's movie magic. And that's why I love Nolan. He reminds me why I love filmmaking, why film is my favorite art form. And there's no different than that. That whole sequence, by the way, with the Cyclops, plus another one later on in the film, Nolan diving into horror movie territory, I was genuinely surprised and impressed, similar to how I felt about Oppenheimer, wherein I was surprised by the things he was doing um direction wise in Oppenheimer. I also felt that here. He was exploring new things creatively, and I really appreciated that. I love how each film Nolan is just trying to evolve and learning new things and trying new stuff. And I really love that. Like Ludwig Göransson's score too is just magnificent. I do think that music is such a huge part of Nolan's movies. Um and the music here is just beautiful. It's somber, it's epic, and at times hopeful. I don't like making comparisons, but the final scene of this movie, accompanied by the score of Ludwig Göransson, it reminded me a lot of Dune Part Two's ending and Hans Zimmer's score for that ending. I don't know why it just did. I feel like if you watch the movie, maybe it'll also remind you of that. Maybe I'm not alone. The cast was fantastic. I will say this. I will speak on the casting controversies right now. When it comes to those controversies, if you are one of the people who is just so fucking bothered by some of the casting choices in this film, those roles take up like 3 to 5 minutes of this 3 hour movie. It's really not that deep. I it's not that deep, guys. I don't know what else to say honestly. Like it's up to y'all at this point. But yeah, everyone in this cast was just giving their A game. Like each one of them, they were just giving like some of their best performances in their careers. It Everyone was great. This is a huge cast, so I'll just try to narrow it down to a few that I want to shout out. Matt Damon, of course, who plays our lead, Odysseus. He was great. He is a leading man, and he continues to prove that. He was amazing in this movie. He was aura farming. He was aura farming a lot in the last hour, and he was jacked as hell. Yeah, he was a great lead. Tom Holland, I think, gives one of his best performances. Anne Hathaway is a powerhouse in this film. She was fucking fantastic. I felt every emotion she was conveying. She was incredible. I was feeling her. I was absolutely feeling the emotions. John Leguizamo was really good too. He was a huge surprise for me in this movie. I didn't expect him I didn't expect him to have that big of a role, but he did and he ate it up. He was great. I was really surprised. But I talked to Lance too after the movie, and I think we both agree when I say that Robert Pattinson was a scene stealer. He just continues to prove himself to be one of the best actors working today. This guy has just moved on from Twilight, and you love to see it. He was amazing in this movie. He was such a slimy villain, and he was very entertaining to watch. He was great. He was really good. Now, I do have some minor flaws with this movie. I say minor because I think it comes down to subjectivity at this point. For the first 20 minutes of the film, it's a lot of exposition and setup. It's a lot of characters saying what happened during the Trojan War. It's a lot of characters saying what the situation is at the moment. Like it's a lot of characters explaining who these people are, and it makes for a pretty slow start. But like I said, it comes down to subjectivity. Like that's gonna be fine for some people, right? And honestly, it didn't bother me too much. Honestly, I was fine with it. It's more of just something I noticed while I was watching the film. My bigger flaw, however, is the storytelling can feel disjointed at times. The movie is told in a non-linear manner, in true Nolan fashion, of course, and it like it cuts from the present where a character is gonna start telling a part of their journey, and then it's gonna cut to a flashback of that part of their journey, and that happens quite a bit in the film. But like I said, it really didn't bother me that much. It comes down to subjectivity. That's gonna be fine for some people. I was very much still marveling at the beauty of this film. That's why I meant that's why I said minor flaws. They're very minor flaws. Because even though it does feel disjointed at times, what matters is what it leads to. And what it leads to is a pretty spectacular final hour of the film. So it very much feels rewarding. I do also think that this is Nolan at one of his strongest when it comes to writing. I thought the writing for this movie was pretty terrific, especially for the final hour. This movie makes you feel things. It makes you feel things, man. It really does. Like it's filled with a lot of heart and humanity in how it explores themes of family, loss, and war, and how that can change a man. And like there's a scene where Odysseus is talking about his he's talking about how war changed him, about his experiences in the Trojan War, about his experience in invading Troy itself. And I was feeling it, man. What a performance from Matt Damon. Holy shit. And I also love how we as an audience was just constantly waiting for Odysseus to finally have his moment because the movie is really leading up to it. And when he finally does have it get his moment, it's done in an absolutely epic fashion. It's it's spectacular. It really is. Like chills down my spine. My heart was beating fast. I was at the edge of my seat. Lance and I were getting very excited. We were getting very giddy, and I was genuinely just floating. Like, and I'm not ashamed to admit, I almost teared up at the end, and Lance did too. Like, Nolan just knows how to end his movies. He just figured out how to he just knows how to end his movies. He figured it out a long time ago. Like it's in like how does he just do it? How does he just do it like that? He just motherfucker just knows how to end his movies, like genuinely. Overall, guys, if it's not obvious, I loved Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Like this is like my most anticipated movie of the year. I already had high expectations, but those expectations were definitely met, and I would even say those expectations were exceeded. Because to be fair, I did have some skepticisms myself, especially when the second trailer released. I I myself did have my own skepticisms about the movie, but yeah, the expectations were exceeded. You can call Nolan overrated all you want. You can hate on this movie all you want. You can boycott this movie all you want, but you cannot deny the level of craftsmanship and artistry and dedication at display in this movie. I truly believe that this is a crowning achievement in filmmaking, and I think this is a crowning achievement in Nolan's filmography. I think and everyone involved should be proud. This is my favorite movie of the year. This is one of the best theater going experiences I've ever had. And I think this is one of the best movies I've ever had the privilege of seeing in a cinema. Granted, I'm only 20 years old, and my very first memory of watching a movie in the cinema was 2009. So take that as you may. And I'm still processing this movie as I was writing this review, and as I'm filming this review. I'm still processing it. I'm still like taking in the emotional impact of this movie. But yeah, as of now, this yeah, I love this movie. I cannot stress this enough. If you're gonna watch this movie, if you have the chance, watch it in IMAX. This movie demands to be seen in IMAX. I cannot stress this enough. I'm gonna give the Odyssey an A. I guess the big question is, where does this rank among Christopher Nolan's filmography for me? It's hard to say. Um, like I truly believe that Oppenheimer is his best movie. It's not my personal favorite movie of his, but I think that's Nolan at his strongest. Like Oppenheimer is Nolan at his strongest for sure. But when it comes to where I would put the Odyssey in my rankings, like cause my top three is like Inception, Dark Knight, Memento, and then like number four is Oppenheimer, and then I think the Odyssey could very well be number five or six. Yeah, I think that's where I would put the Odyssey. Yeah, somewhere there. But yeah, I really love this one. What a cinematic experience. This is why I go to the cinemas. This is why I love film. This is why film is my favorite art form. This is why I want to learn more about filmmaking. This is why I want to make films. If a movie can make me say those things, you know it's good. You know, like I love it. I love it. I love it when a movie makes me say those things. Reminds me why I love film. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about this one. Um, if you're gonna watch it, if you have watched it, tell me what you think about it down in the comments below. Um, I'll, s- that's it for me for this one. Um, this has been your boy Dane, and I'll see you in the next one, I guess, whenever that may be. Bye bye.